what defines a dark age? What is a dark age?
Well, typically it's defined as a collapse of society,
Okay.
right? It's like, there's many characteristics that are fairly common in a dark age, right? You have, cults everywhere. You got people going away from science towards superstition.
Mm-hmm.
You got radical religion. You
Mm-hmm.
got, absolute rule of the fist. You've got, nobody's no judges. Really, everyone is a judge. Everyone is an expert.
Okay. Do you feel okay? So we gotta stop. We gotta slow down because you're saying so much. You're saying so much so quickly.
Mhm,
You're
mhm.
saying so much so quickly. But your first point there, when we were talking about what's a dark age, you mentioned the dark age being uh, the cult. What is a cult to you? Because a lot of like today, I have a certain understanding of a cult, but how are you? Because I feel like there's a lot of I guess dog whistle terms that you've used.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Maybe the old or even the new black man doesn't necessarily understand. They've heard those words, but don't necessarily understand. How are you defining those words? So what is the
Um, well, it's funny. I guess cult is kind of a funny one because almost anything can be termed as a cult.
okay.
Almost any group that has an ideology could technically be termed as a cult.
Okay.
But when I'm saying that, I more mean like uh, like organizations that are led by like dogma rather than like um, uh, understanding or um, like natural laws, I would say it. You know what I mean? It's not based on necessarily something being true. It's more based on something being convenient or
Okay.
um, yeah. There's a little bit of there's a connotation of dishonesty in like the professed ideology and then how it plays out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of times with the cults, I put them more with the I was gonna say with superstition, but
So do you feel in the black community, is there a good cult to be a part of? Is there a good cult to join or to follow right now?
no, actually, I think we got the opposite. I think um, we've got a whole bunch of different movements um, that kind of have they're romantic. There's sometimes some kind of excitement involved in how they kind of portray themselves and how people take them in,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not. But no, I would definitely not say that. This is if you were asked my opinion, I think we are. If we're not in a dark age, we're definitely heading towards one. If
Heading
if,
towards them. Okay.
if I were to give my own opinion of it, because I actually think that maybe not all of the characteristics are present, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them, but a lot of them are.
Okay. So my bad. Okay, so let me go. Let me let you go again. So you talked about dark age. We talked about the cult that really stood out for me, and what is the other things was defining the dark age that we're in?
So it's the lack of judges,
The lack of
right,
judges. Okay, so
and the lack of judgment,
okay, so
right.
let's get into that. So what? Okay, so the lack
I'm
of
saying like if you look at how many let's just say black leaders that we have at the moment that are that people may be accusing of like being scammers and this kinds of thing, right? But then everybody seems to still be falling for it,
mm-hmm,
right? It's only after people have been taken for a ride
Mhm.
that everybody realizes it. But when the shiny, glossy presentation is first presented,
Mhm.
there's no ability to discern whether this is something that's for the good or whether this is some bullshit.
I've been down this road.